Hey YouTubers, my name is Eliza Fortney and I am a designer and illustrator. I am going to share with you some really quick and easy drawing tips that helped me improve so much in my drawing, and I know that they are going to help you improve as well. They are super simple, and if you practice them every day, even for 10 minutes, your art is going to get so much better. So let's get into it. Okay, so to start off, I'm going to start by drawing a sphere. So you are going to start by holding your pencil with 2 fingers on top, 1 thumb on the side. And the reason we're not holding it like a typical pencil like this is because you are going to have much more arm control if you hold it like this. We don't want to be drawing from the wrist. Okay, we don't want to be doing this because it is very hard to get control doing that. You're not going to end up with very clean lines, as you can see. So instead, we are going to hold our pencil nice and loosely, and we are going to instead draw from the shoulder, very loose. And it's so much easier for me to have control when I draw from the shoulder instead of drawing from the wrist and ending up with really teeny tiny, not very controlled circles. So again, we're going to start out by drawing from the shoulder. Don't worry if it's very sketchy because we are just going to be doing this as practice. It's not going to be a final piece of art. Now imagine that we're going to be drawing around this as if it were a 3D object. So say that this was a ball. Instead of trying to imagine drawing around it and just stopping at the corner, instead we're going to draw essentially an oval around the entire circle. So it'll look like this. Now if you were to fill this in, it would look like this ball was cut in half. And we're going to do the same thing going from top to bottom. So again, we're going to imagine we're drawing around the entire ball, drawing an oval. Now, instead of just having a flat circle, we have one that looks like it's in 3D space. And this may take a lot of time to master. I have drawn so many spheres I can't even count. So don't get discouraged if this is hard, but one tip to keep in mind is don't worry about being super neat. So for example, don't try to go super slow and make an awesome circle because it doesn't really work. And again, trying to make super slow, like it doesn't work. Instead, just be really sketchy. Don't worry about being super clean. Again, this is practice and for muscle memory, not for getting a final pretty piece of art. So again, and as you can also see, I'm going over this several times. I'm not just trying to draw like one circle and call it done. I am getting that motion from my shoulder and just lightly touching the pencil to my iPad and drawing in a circle. Again, small oval going horizontally, small oval going vertically. Now, there are lots of ways for you to practice this. One way that I really like to practice is, as you can see, these are showing the form of this circle. And if you want, you can start practicing with larger ovals going around the circle, and this will essentially give the sphere the look that it's going in different angles. So if we draw a larger oval on the inside of this ball, now it looks like you are seeing more of the top of this ball. Whereas if you were to make thinner ovals, let me try that again, that was about the same size as we were doing before. There we go. Thinner ovals. Then you are seeing more of the side of the ball. And again, this is going to take practice. You're not going to be able to do this perfectly right away, and that is okay. Essentially, art is really just muscle memory. You need to keep practicing it over and over again before you get comfortable with it, before it comes naturally, and before it starts to look the way you want it to look. So I would practice drawing spheres whenever you have downtime. If you're just watching a movie, grab a piece of paper. You don't need a fancy iPad, just grab a sheet of scrap paper, a pencil, and just start practicing. Drawing as many spheres as you can, drawing what we practiced with drawing smaller ovals within the sphere to get different angles. So now we are going to practice drawing cubes. So cubes are trickier to understand and trickier to practice, but again, everything is just muscle memory and you will understand it over time. So we are going to start with one of my favorite tricks for drawing a box or cube. Going to make a new layer. Is we are going to start with a T shape. Now this T shape is going to determine the angle of our box. So say I want to be looking more at a top overhead angle of this box. So I'm going to draw more of a Y shape. And then from there, I'm going to bring these two edges down, and I'm going to match the angle that we have right here for the bottom. And the same thing, I'm going to match the angle for this edge right here, and same match this edge right here. And then to make it look more three-dimensional, I'm going to bring this line straight down, and again, match this angle, one down here, this angle, the one down here, and you have a cube. So you can continue to practice this, drawing the cubes from different angles, and depending on the different T shapes that you create will alter the angle of your cube. So for example, say I want more of a bottom view. I am instead going to bring the points going down. So now this looks more like an arrow. Going to bring these edges straight down, match the angle of the opposite edges. And then we have a cube. And as you can see, my cubes are not perfect, and that is okay. I'm also still practicing this every day, but the concept is what's the most important. You are going to learn how to start seeing in 3D, you are going to start understanding how to draw in 3D, and this is going to be a great foundation for, say you want to learn how to draw a house. This is a great base for a house. Literally, you're just missing a little roof on top. And a little door. So this is going to be the base for a lot of things that you're going to want to draw, and it is super helpful, so I recommend practicing this, even though this one is a little bit trickier. So cones. Cones are probably the easiest ones to draw, and they're really fun. They look like little party hats, and they're super cute. Also very helpful, you will see these shapes a lot. For example, if you want to do a very stylized or even a realistic tree, for example, say a pine tree, this is going to be the base shape that you're going to start with. So for drawing a cone, just going to start with a simple oval, and then we are going to bring two lines from each end, angling up toward each other until you get a point with a cone shape. And then in order to make this look even more three-dimensional, continue how we have this oval down here, draw another oval showing the three-dimensionality of the cone. And there you have a cone. Again, depending on the size of your oval, it's going to determine what angle you're looking at the cone from. For example, if you have a very thin oval, it's going to look like you're almost looking straight on at this cone. Whereas if you have almost a circle, like a really wide oval, this is going to make it look like you're almost looking from a bird's eye view of this cone. So yeah, I would recommend practicing all of these shapes, and a quick exercise you can do is just draw like a squiggly line and practice drawing these shapes going along this line. For example, here is a sphere that is following this line. Here is a little cube following this line. And here is a cone. And you can just continue following that all the way down the line. And again, you can do this exercise while you're watching TV, while you're just hanging out with some friends. It's very easy to do, and it really is going to improve your drawing. And I'm going to give you a quick example of how you can use these shapes to create something like a character. So, a human head, it's obviously three-dimensional. It is going to be a base of a sphere. So we're going to draw the sphere. Now, this is a foundation that I always start with. I always start with a sphere when I'm drawing a head. And then from here, you're going to continue this line down. Bring this line down as well. And then I'm going to follow this which is about halfway on the head down, and then from here I'm going to connect these lines, and now I have the front side of the face. So from here I can add the ears, little nose, little smile, eyes. Now, I'm not going super in depth about how to draw the face because this isn't a head tutorial, but if you would like me to make one, please just let me know. This is just showing you when you understand these basic shapes, you're able to draw pretty much anything that you want because it is the foundation for whatever you're drawing. I don't know what kind of hair this person is getting. It's getting a little bit wacky. Sure, they can rock that hairdo. So yeah, this is an example of how you would use one of those shapes to create a very simple head sketch, and then from there you could go on to finish out this drawing however you want. And again, if we were to use, say, the cone shape that we created, let's give them a little party hat, draw the oval, create that cone shape, add some 3D lines, add another sphere for the little pom-pom, and there. We have a great base for, this could be a little boy wearing a party hat at his birthday or whatever story you wanted to illustrate. And I encourage you to practice this every day, and you can start applying it to your characters, to your environment designs, to pretty much whatever you want. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you found these tips helpful and that you'll be practicing these every day. They make a great warm-up exercise. Just practice them even 10 minutes a day. Your art skills are really going to improve and you're going to be able to draw anything and everything you want. So please let me know if this video is helpful and what other drawing tips you would really like me to cover in the next video. Bye guys!